Hi, everybody. It's Kelly Russell, the Rock Your Joy Coach. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome to my channel. So, it is the holiday season, the most wonderful time of the year. I say that a little bit tongue in cheek because I know that this can be kind of a crazy time for people and can be a little bit stressful or a lot stressful. And some people just have like a whole full body eye roll about the whole Christmas season. I personally am like, I know that I have a really high elf DNA percentage, and I am pretty sure that I can trace my lineage back to Whoville. And so I do get pretty geeked around Christmas time. My mom used to always have a birthday cake for Jesus on Christmas Eve. So it was definitely, we were not a religious family, but growing up in a unity church, very spiritual, and just, always saw Jesus as the elder brother and guide and way shower, as I still do. And so, we celebrated his birthday, had a cake, and sang happy birthday to him and all that. And I love everything about the season. I love the lights and I love the bells and the carols. I love the sort of the festive feeling in the air, the vibration. And so, but for years, since I was a child until really just a few years ago, I also experienced fairly severe gift giving anxiety. And it's not because I'm Scrooge and I don't want to give people gifts, but I had this just really deep seated insecurity about having to find the perfect gift. And it was connected to my feelings of not being good enough, and that somehow the gift that I gave, it had to be the best gift the person ever got, or the most appropriate gift, or it had to evoke something within them, or else it would reflect on me in some way, in some negative, of course, way. Thanks very much, ego. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today, because I know that this is for people who celebrate Christmas and give gifts in celebrating in that way. It can feel like that. It can feel frenetic and stressful, and there can be a lot of feelings of having to get the right and perfect gift, and a lot of pressure. And I get it. I mean, it would be to the point I can remember like walking around the mall almost in a daze with this like pit in my stomach, this nervous, anxious feeling. It would be overwhelming. Um, and I would overbuy because of that. I would overspend beyond my means. And and then when I would give the gifts to whomever it was, I would realize that I didn't need to spend that much, or not that it has to be an even exchange, but a lot of times it didn't turn out to be, because the other person maybe didn't have gift giving anxiety and didn't feel like they needed to overspend on me. And sometimes I got into really uncomfortable situations because I would have spent a lot more on someone than they spent on me, and it would feel imbalanced to them. And it just was a shit show in a lot of ways. And so finally, a couple times I even got up so stressed about it that I got sick on Christmas Eve and couldn't even go out and do the festivities, participate in the festivities that I really wanted to, go to the church service I wanted to go to, or go to a Christmas party. It sucked. So a few years ago, I did, what I wish I would have done it a lot sooner. And I just took the whole thing to spirit and was just like, you know what? I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to feel nervous. I don't want to feel anxious. I don't want my gift giving. I want my gift giving to be from the heart. I know that it is from the heart, and I don't want there to be this ego part of it. You know, it's like the ego wants to hijack everything in this world, right? And it certainly wants to hijack and twist and translate into its own language everything that is a spiritual concept. And of course, giving is a spiritual concept. And so I wanted to talk about the lesson in A Course in Miracles. So coming from it's not actually not a lesson coming from A Course in Miracles. It's chapter 15, and it's part 11, Christmas as the End of Sacrifice, because that's what I was doing. Is I was looking at Christmas as being this thing that I have to sacrifice in some way. I have to overgive. I have to make up for. And of course, what is it that we feel like we have to make up for in this? We feel like we have to make up for our inadequacy because we feel like we are guilty. We feel like we separated from God. We believe that, and we believe that therefore we are inadequate, and then we carry this insecurity about it. And this is the way that it expressed for me, was this deep insecurity that I had to prove my worth to my loved ones, and that this was one of the, the time of year where I could do that. And this is a way that the ego gets a hold of this beautiful concept of giving. A Course in Miracles teaches that giving and receiving are one in truth, that there is no difference between giving and receiving. And so when I took this to Spirit and just said, I need this to be healed. I want this to be the joy-filled season that it is for me in all the other ways, and I just want this aspect of it to be transformed. And I practiced forgiveness around every area of gift giving that I could. I forgave myself for feeling less than. I forgave everyone in my life, not that they've done anything wrong, but I just forgave all of them for anything that I might be holding them in some kind of judgment for. Because even holding in someone in a place of idealism, or holding them on a pedestal in comparison to yourself, and then feeling like you're not as good as they are, and then you have to make up for the fact that you're not as good as they are in some way by overgiving or overdoing or whatever it is, even that is an attack. Because if we put someone on a pedestal, then we set them up for us to then knock them down. We'll have resentment about the fact that they are on a pedestal, and then the other side of that coin of seeing them as then not only better than us, but then seeing them as worse than us, because this is a world of duality, and that's the way that the ego thinks. So forgiving everyone for everything that I could think of, even if I was holding them in a place of, as I said, of being better than me in some way, or comparing myself, or competing with them, or trying to win their love in some way. I just practiced forgiveness around all of it. And really, the forgiveness that A Course in Miracles teaches is that of, I'm forgiving you not because you've done anything. I'm really forgiving myself for whatever it is that I am believing to be true about you, that is anything other than a loving thought, that is anything other than the truth that we are all one Son of God. We are all the light. We are all the love of God. And so in doing that, in releasing it, in practicing that forgiveness, and then in just asking for this to be healed, transformed, for me to be able to see it differently and to have a different experience, giving it all to Spirit, putting it on the altar. I had that year when I did that, which was a few years ago, just really did have a transformative, amazing, wonderful, miraculous experience of my gift giving. And it just became easy, and it felt inspired, and it was fun and joyful. and things occurred to me, whether it was something I was shopping just appeared right in front of me, or in some cases it was giving things that were my own possessions, or was making things with my hands, or whatever it was. It just became easy and peaceful and loving. And so that's really my message, is if you have gift giving anxiety, to sort of take the page from my book and consider doing what I did. Read the blog that is attached below, where I kind of go into a little more detail about sort of what I did and how Spirit healed that for me. And I realized, as I was going to say before, that idea that when we are holding a brother, and when we're holding a brother in anything other than a loving thought, we are holding ourselves there too. And that, this whole idea of sacrifice, that we have to give in order to make up for something, that we have to give something, and then in giving it we lose it, that's what the idea of sacrifice is that I will give to you and then I will no longer have, because that is what the ego's idea of giving is that I give and then I lose and you win. And that's what giving is. And that is not what giving is. That is sacrifice, and sacrifice is not giving. And so I wanted to read this beautiful part of A Course in Miracles to you. And again, it's from chapter 15, part 11, and it's the third paragraph. This Christmas, give the Holy Spirit everything that would hurt you. Let yourself be healed completely, that you may join with Him in healing. And let us celebrate our release together by releasing everyone with us. Leave nothing behind, for release is total. And when you have accepted it with me, you will give it with me. All pain and sacrifice and littleness will disappear in our relationship, which is as innocent as our relationship with our Father and as powerful. Pain will be brought to us and disappear in our presence. And without pain, there could be no sacrifice. And without sacrifice, there love must be. So I wish you the joy and the peace and the light of this beautiful season. I hope that you are able to find as much enjoyment in it as I do. And if one of the things that has kept you from fully embracing and rocking this season of light has been gift-giving anxiety, then please read the blog below and do what I did and allow yourself to have a different experience. Really, really being able to revel in that giving and receiving are one in truth. So thank you so much for being with me today. I love being here with you. I'm here every week talking about the practical application of A Course in Miracles. And this week in particular, I am introducing some holiday pricing for my coaching, my one-to-one coaching and spiritual counseling. And if you've done coaching with me in the past and you're thinking about rocking another round of joy, then consider doing that. I have reduced prices for holiday discount on the packages that are available. And then also I have made available for the first time some spiritual counseling packages. And I've also introduced a new coaching package, a new 6-month coaching package. So click the link below, which will take you to a page where you can find out all the details. And if you've ever considered working with me, or you want to gift someone else with the gift of spiritual counseling or coaching with me, now is a great time to do that. Giving the gift of rocking your joy. What could be better than that, right? You deserve it, and so do your loved ones. And so Please consider that. And I look forward to talking with you soon, and I will see you next week. I love you.